You know, you talked about having a short-term memory after Michigan. Do you have to have the same thing after a performance like that to make sure they don't stay on cloud nine too much?
Yeah, I think, you've got to have short-term memory, and those are the games you want to carry over with confidence, But right now, like we talked about last night, is, the focus now is it's all mental preparation, watching video, understanding what we're looking for, going through more or less a walkthrough today, 50% of how we're going to defend things, what we're going to look for, and just watch a lot of video, and then, obviously shooting their new facility tomorrow. But, when we have legs and we're fresh and we have energy, obviously good things happen. And you see, if you knock down shots, good things happen. We didn't knock anything down Wednesday. We took IU out of their game a little bit. They didn't knock shots down. It just drained you.
The Nebraska's personnel is pretty similar. Does that help a little? Are they doing similar things this year?
Yeah. Number 33, Terrio, is pretty much taking over for Lindsey Moore. I mean, she's playing great. So mainly, she played last year but made an impact, but now she's kind of taking over those numbers and that type of stuff. So it is similar. So, we can't limit everything. You got to pick your poison. So, those are the things that we have to do as we prepare this next, 24 hours.
Overall, though, you have to feel like you match up well with them. There's a lot of similar personnel, and they're not huge in the post.
Right.
So you feel like it's, at least on paper, you have some even matchups there?
Yeah, on paper, and it seems like our games have always been good games, and I think that's part of it. We've always had one good, solid scoring post, and we've had our guards, and for them, they have usually a very good scoring guard, and then you have Katie and Hooper. And you just have to limit. You're not going to take anybody totally out of the game, but you have to limit. But, like you said, on paper, and you're looking at statistics, you're looking at percentages, a lot of different things. It's very similar.
Kind of lost in the shuffle last night with what your senior guards did was the performance of Whitney. And I'm sure what the senior guards did early opened up things for her, but just for Whitney to have that kind of game and take that step.
And that's where we've got to make sure that we just stay consistent. That's the biggest thing. And like we talked about last night, it's about playing well. You're going to win games and lose games even when you play well, because someone else may just bring a little bit more to the table that day. Like last night, we just shot the ball really well. But, Whitney, her goal, she's like, I want to get 14 rebounds. And she got 14 rebounds, and so she didn't care about the scoring part. It's just making sure that she took care of the boards, which we really need, and then she gets a nice little rhythm going with her shot. I mean, you all sense it right away. So if, she's got to be able to score for us in the mid-range again against Nebraska, and she's got to be able to take it off the dribble to try to get them in foul trouble.
You like how those three have kind of rounded into your into form, Courtney, KK, and Whitney?
Yeah, you've got to have scores. We used to always want to be a defensive team, and now it's a scoring team, and so you've got to be able to do both of those things. But if we can get, Whitney is a constant threat. Lisa's hopefully can always get that 10 to 12, and Camille defensive presence, rebounding. But if you can have two guard scorers and one post scorer, that's how we were successful last year.
What is the schedule like today? You'll watch some film, do a little walkthrough. What all are you doing?
We'll watch film for a good 45 minutes. Most of the stuff was downloaded. A lot of them watched the Minnesota-Nebraska game, but they don't break it down like we do, but they watched it. So we'll break it down and go through offenses, defenses, and for about an hour and 10 minutes go out on the court and, go through things. Not totally walk, but about 50%. We're not going to bang each other, have that type of contact, just because we've got to have bodies fresh tomorrow. And then we'll go fly to Nebraska. Flight's like at 2 o'clock. And then we'll watch more video and be in a big room and walk through some things. And then feed them and put them to bed. Last night was a short night for everybody, just because their bodies never turn. When you play a game, your bodies don't turn off till like 2 or 3 in the morning, and be more refreshed. And they'll be doing a lot of cold whirlpools. Last night, twice today. We'll do them at Nebraska and be ready to roll.
Are you ordering Courtney and KK to a pregame grocery store trip every
whatever it takes? I don't know. As long as they bring me something back to eat, I'd appreciate it. But no, that was the first time. They're kind of funny. Most people wouldn't share those stories, but they just, I think it's great that they spent time together and talked about things, you know. I mean, you're seniors, you know, time's ticking.
Yeah.
So, you know, but I'm sure, you know, KK's gonna have at least 50 to 60 or 70 fans there, so, I mean, it's, I'm sure she'll be full of energy.